Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm joined with Colin Padget from Founders Metals. Now, this stock caught my eye after seeing some of the attention it was getting on the CEO message board, and I realized that the stock had gained approximately 140% since being unhalted last March, and they've also raised some pretty significant money as interest in their project continues to ramp up. So let's talk about that project briefly. Founders Metals' flagship project is the Antino Gold Project in Surinam, spanning 20,000 hectares. This project is notable for its extensive exploration work, including over 30,000 meters of historical drilling and significant gold finds, such as 14 grams per ton over 13 meters and 12 grams per ton over 8 meters, extending the Froyo Gold Zone by 50 meters. The area has a history of producing over 500,000 ounces of gold, making Antino the most advanced gold exploration project in Surinam. All right, everyone, enjoy the interview. Colin, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I like to start off these interviews with a little bit of macro talk. I know that you're kind of more from a geo background, but last week we had the Fed. They came out with some pretty dovish comments. We started to see the yield curve retreat. And we've now got the gold bulls. They're all obviously celebrating. Where do you think inflation's heading from here, and what impact do you think that has on the price of gold?
Well, I think really, we've touched now over 2,100 an ounce gold. I think we're going to continue to go north. The dovish comments, I think, are really just the start of things, as we need to, kind of keep the ball rolling. But we're going to move into 2024, I think, with some pretty strong numbers, and it'll keep going.
Now, when we talk about even $2,000 gold, you guys have a project, and we're going to get into that in a second, in Surinam. How attractive is it to produce gold at $2,000, or do you think we got to kind of get to that sort of $2,400 to $2,600 level until it begins to become attractive for junior explorers?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a huge number of projects out there that, even at the $2,000 mark, there's a lot of buffer there. There's, ASICs at $1,200 to $1,300, $1,400 range. Lots of projects out there that sit in that range or lower. Certainly, the all sustaining costs for operations in the Guyana Shield are in that range or lower. And so that's quite a big margin between that and $2,000 gold. And while I do think that it's going to move past the 2,100 mark and keep heading north in 2024, I think even where we are right now, there's still a lot of value.
So let's talk about Founders Metals. It's the first time you've been on our show. What's the high level overview of the company for our audience?
Yeah, so we're a junior exploration company. Our flagship property is the Antino Gold Project, which is in southeastern Surinam in South America. We acquired the project just here in March of 2023. And this year so far, we've managed to do 10,000 meters of drilling, and we've had some pretty fantastic drill results. So, yeah.
So you guys are in Surinam, which is obviously near Guyana, where we're seeing some conflict right now in the Siquiwa region with Venezuela. Does this spill over to Surinam or to Founders Metals in any way?
No, we have no effect whatsoever. We're actually, we're don't even share the same border with Guyana. We're on the French Guyana border. So there's a whole country in between us and any of that. And we're not bordered by Venezuela. It's Brazil to our south and French Guyana to the east.
Okay, so the company recently closed a $5 million bought deal. How do you guys plan to use the funds? What's the strategy there?
Well, it was pretty fantastic actually to have the bought deal go through and have it be BMO led. Close the 5.75. We were able to fill the green shoe at the end of it there, and that's going to be enough funding for our 2024 drilling program. We're looking at upwards of 30,000 meters of drilling.
You brought in BMO, so I imagine you're talking to some pretty serious institutional investors here. What is it about the project that they find interesting, or what are the types of questions that they're asking you about when you chat with them?
The big things are scale and the potential for the project. So, it's a 20,000 hectare land package. It's an exploitation concession. So we're currently permitted for mining down to bedrock. But really it's the opportunity for potentially multiple multi-million ounce gold deposits on the property. A lot of historic long-term gold production in the area. Just kind of has all those, key pieces to that recipe for, big gold discoveries in places like the Guyana Shield or West Africa.
So something I always find interesting about companies like Founders Metals is there's a lot of historic drilling, and we've had a lot of technological advancements since that drilling occurred. What can the company do differently with those technological advancements that give you guys sort of a better shot at going out and discovering or building up the size of the resource?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's over 30,000 meters of historic drilling on the property, but there are a number of things, and some of the advancements aren't even that technological. One of the biggest things that we see, or that's helped us understand this gold system a lot better, is that there's these historic pits available to us, and we can walk up and we can touch the outcrop, and we've sampled at surface up to 57 grams per ton gold. And so, being able to do that and measure those structures at surface is a huge differentiator. Beyond that, though, on the drilling side, I mean, we're seeing much higher recoveries, both in the saprolite and in the hard rock, than were reported historically, and much higher productions too, which is ultimately help keep the cost down overall per meter. Yeah.
So you guys, you completed some geophysics in September. What insights did you learn there, and how did that maybe change your perception based on the historic data?
Yeah, so actually that has been a big game changer for us. So on the geophysics front, there hadn't been any IP work done on the property before. So we were able to do IP and magnetics. What the IP does is it basically gives us a sense of whether there's when there's sulfides or minerals in the rock that are chargeable or can take a current, which is the case with the main deposit area, the main area that we've been working. You can get a signature from that that lines up. And what we found is lining with the historic drilling, our drilling, the auger sampling that's been done on the property, it all lines up very, very well with these chargeability highs. And we've tested it since getting those results, and things have worked out quite well. Beyond that, though, like the real thing we've gained from it is an understanding of the folding mechanics on the property, or at least that part of the property. And this has become really important to us, being able to target the high-grade gold mineralization that we're seeing in the Froyo gold trend. So there's, looking like there's these northeast-oriented structures that are very important to the highest grade gold mineralization. And I mean, we have samples up to almost 435 grams per ton. So we're talking very high-grade gold. And so understanding that is very important. And yeah, seems to be coming out of that work.
So for our audience who's unsure what you mean by folding structures, could you maybe explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, so basically it's the rocks are, being compressed from from two directions. And as they're compressed, the rocks fold. And you think of, you take something, you fold it. To accommodate that folding, you're going to get all of these fractures in the rock. And so it creates a lot more open space, a lot more damaged rock. And that's what you need for when these gold-bearing fluids come into the rock to deposit more gold.
It's a great explanation. So last question for you. For any investors watching or people interested in the story, what does 2024 look like?
Yeah, 2024 is going to be pretty exciting. We're very early off, starting, both of our drills will be running. We're starting metallurgical work right away. We're also starting the initial work on environmental baseline studies for future PEA work. We're planning, as I said, up to 30,000 meters of drilling with the cash we have in the bank, but we've got a lot of warrants in the money right now, over $7 million worth, quite deep in the money. And so I expect that we'll be able to see some of those come through and add quite a bit to the meter number. So continuous drill results every 2 to 3 weeks, as we've done this year. And lots more exploration work on the rest of the property too.
Well, Colin, congratulations on the success you guys had in 2023. There haven't been too many stories that have had success in the Canadian junior markets over the last year, and you guys are definitely one of them. Pretty credible name there that helped you guys with that raise. So I congratulate you on the success you've had so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys can do in 2024. As the way I see it, any story that could be successful in the Canadian junior markets is a win for all of us who play in this arena, because that attracts more capital. So I'm cheering for you guys and hoping you guys can continue to perform in 2024.
Yeah, thanks very much.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this interview, please smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Also, let me know what you think in the comments section. All right. Thanks, everyone.